Hello, and how are you? I'm glad you had time to make it. I'm Donovan Howard from Cypress College Art Department, Fine Art Division. I'll be admitting some more in as I begin our bit of conversation. I hope you had a good and opening day. I'm part of the Studio Arts, and within the Fine Art Department, within the Studio Arts, I'm one that will develop your skills in drawing, 2D drawing, life drawing, and also illustration. Illustration being the world of advertisement, entertainment, and also editorial art. We deal in a lot of that painting and drawing in those areas that we're working in. At the moment, we are starting our new semester off, and we'll be doing a whole lot of life drawing and 2D drawing that's coming up. I'm going to open up with our website, but if you have any questions before I start, I'm here to answer anything that you've been curious about or have seen so far. And it seems like we have four of us, and I believe I know one of you already, and I appreciate that. Any questions from our floor? No
Excuse
questions?
me, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. I do have. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Um, I do have one question. I'm interested in taking. I've decided to major in studio arts. I'm curious. Are there any classes under the studio arts list that can be taken during the summer?
Yes, there is. I just got through teaching within our uh, beginning, intermediate, and advanced drawing. So if you are here working towards a transfer degree or looking towards the AA, those courses those are able to be taken over the summer for our studio arts go. That's in your drawing aspect. Uh, we used there could be a figure drawing offering now that we're doing this online process, but if it's mostly drawing that is taken over that time period, so you can actually get the three drawing courses done over the summer. And like I said, we just closed off of one session of all three drawing areas this past summer, which worked out really well during, of course, this time of pandemic. But it was fine. That one worked out well. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to share a screen to kind of help show you a little bit about the department through our website, and it should enable you to have a bit of understanding of what we will do and be about. I'll come back to that in a moment. And you can, and I'm going to briefly go through it because I know we don't have a lot of time and there may be questions, but the idea of creating a sense of critical thinking and facilitating, which your skill sets which you'll be needing in these fundamental foundation courses and some of the intermediate courses. And because it's about transferring, also not only getting a degree that's there for you as an AA, but also to transfer, you'll be able to meet the capacity of what's needed to move you towards the next university. The work that you'll do would be no different than what you would gain at the university as far as that knowledge goes, so that your experience uh, and growth here starts now within your department if you're looking at that as building a portfolio. Not just taking courses because you want to build your chops up, but because you actually want to move forward in your art career. And we offer social media sites so you can actually see some things, other art that you might not see on this site, but through our, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. These images here you see are from 2D design, which is 3D design, which deals in understanding design in a three-dimensional space, from cutting and creating out of wood to actually some 3D printing taking place within some of your subject matter. Here you'll see the degrees on our site, kind of like what we offer. And you'll always see a piece of art and representation of what goes on within the college, from that which is formal and traditional, which is what you're looking at as something to represent, to something that takes on a more design and thinking approach towards abstraction or even somewhat ambiguous, but yet to serve a purpose towards either, like with an illustration, it could be an advocacy, advertising, or entertainment. And when I say entertainment, it actually means you're from character design, storyboarding, um, asset art making for video game. That's the world of illustration. The other courses uh, pertaining to color and design and painting, those that get you, which our painting courses cover, will get you more into what you see here in the site here. But we do offer that Associates in Art and the Associate in Art Studio for transfer. That's towards your Cal State universities, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Dominguez, Cal State Long Beach. Any of the schools and representation of those CSUs, it'll give you a chance to get your general eds plus the art, your art units that are needed to transfer. So you can read through here and see more in those areas of what we cover, which is for those leading want to go into the following areas of a BFA in graphic design, game design, animation, illustration, drawing and painting, sculpture, studio art, interior design, and photography. These areas will be are covered within our program so that you guys can transfer into illustration, transfer into a studio arts program, BFA, at say Cal State Fullerton or Dominguez, like I said, and so on, any of the Cal States. There's also the associate's degree that's provided. That's your AA, meeting your liberal arts and all your studio arts, but you're not looking to take all of the course necessary units to get to transfer. Now, there's a great history component that we have. So it also is a CSU transfer. So you can lead yourself up as an art history major all the way up to your master's. Once you get in there, then you move on, of course, to if you want to PhD, but you can start here with developing your transfer degree towards that direction. Now, if there's any questions, you can jump in at any time. I'm not on a sort of a train. I'm just making sure that you're aware of the great exploration you're going to have here and the journey you're going to have here with us, especially when you actually encounter any of your art professors. They're all great. Since I think I'm great, I think all the rest of them are great also. And we have a student artwork area, which is really nice to kind of get a chance to see from your foundation works, which is very important that we stress here. We really, really, really put emphasis upon developing those skill sets within the foundations, because those are the areas that are going to last with you throughout your creative process and critical thinking process as you transfer, let's say, to a higher degree pursuing the studio art career. And in terms of studio art that I'm using, and I say illustration, they'll start to track off, because in studio arts you may stay in the contemporary realm, but in illustration you'll start moving towards the commercial realm, and which is different. So from your foundation work, such as here is working on light, shadow, and form, which you'll deal with me in these areas, to editorial art, such as here, which is an illustration, which will deal with me also within this area. But we also have a great area within ceramics and clay and sculpting. It's a wonderful area where you'll find a very large set of high-end professional tools, studio setup, and kilns that will allow you to actually fire your clay and create a lot of different beautiful objects. We have great faculty running that area, and it also can be an elective for yourself, as if you're working in illustration and taking your foundation courses. You can also take a course in sculpture that will, in clay, that allow you to have a really good, clear, hands-on concept between the 2D and the 3D translation. Also within foundation, we're really strong on the aspects of color theory and 2D design, and how those areas work digitally and how they work formally. That's really important. So you'll see some examples of color theory projects in here. Like I said, things in relationship to 3D design, which is here. You get a chance to see how that formulates, and also those aspects in foundation, that's a portraiture areas, more 2D design work. In here, this is what we consider within drawing, advanced drawing. You actually approaching color and start working out color aspects, color ideas, and within those areas, you'll end up having. Sorry about that for the ringing, but in those areas, you'll have a variety of choices as you go through your studies. So it's very important that you understand how you want to start and where you want to lead. So we have some great counselors that will help you set up and design a track for yourself, so that way you are pursuing if you want to go to the AA versus the AAT, so that way you cover those areas and find yourself skilled in areas that you're needed. More of the ceramic things that take place, actually areas in jewelry making, here and here. So this is a chance for you to have an opportunity to look through and pursue the different illustration to fine art to contemporary works that we have. So it's not just about creating the work, it's about exhibiting. We have a great gallery work that gets placed, and our gallery ran through our art historian. You also have great times of exhibiting work, so you can play through these and see some of the different types of work that have been created within your skill sets, from your fine art to your illustration to any of the 3D digital works that gets created. And it goes back, as in time, so you get a chance to see sort of historical points of view of what we have and where you're pursuing here and what's important to you to pursue here. So again, where do you start? And that's really important for yourself, is understanding that. And we leave options on our site, and I would like you to make sure you take down the site, which is cypresscollegeart.com, and it's a link that this isn't the exact site that's on the website of the school, because it's bigger. We have actually more information in here for you, and it's built just for you who's interested in the arts, as the one on the site is more general, and because that's a share with other departments and divisions, this site is developed so that you're able to see kind of some of the more personality and the wit of what we offer and who we are here at the CCAD, which is Cypress College Art Department. You'll hear me say that a little bit. Oh, all right, CCAD, here we do this. So it gives you a chance to recognize that you're in an art school that's part of a college. So here is the creative section. Just give you a chance to kind of answer a few questions before we go to questions. That we have an industry that's pretty broad, and because it's so broad within the creative, you can look at where you start now as an illustrator, or as a studio artist, or as a person working within ceramics and clay, or even that person that deals in painting. Where does it fit in the real world today? And it gives you an opportunity to find out where that area fits by going into the on the site in the area which is called the creative sector, and giving you a chance to see what's out there. And you'll find it over here under our catalog area, and you'll find those things I showed you under our gallery area, as far as where these areas of tabs that I'm separating between galleries and the catalog. Cypress Home will take you back to the original Cypress College homepage, and also take you into the My Gateway as a gateway for as you become a student. It takes you directly into a way of getting into the student portal. And here's Canvas, which also takes you into what's called our classroom courses. That's what Canvas will take you. About is just the area, of course, about us, and you can go through the social media, and that's the tabs where you were able to see that. Now, as far as our industry goes, this gives you a chance to kind of peruse through and see what are the titles that we have. I have worked in the animation and film world. I'm an illustrator who started off uh, learning the foundation arts very heavily in figure drawing, drawing and painting. I was able to assert that into a major called illustration, and illustration at the time was very commercial, and moved it illustration into, which is here. I was doing more uh, commercial illustration, not medical, editorial, or packaging, but more illustration that would be related to commercial. Uh, and if you are interested in those areas, these are the areas that you would look into as far as how to maneuver yourself. And I maneuvered myself into the world of concept artists, story artists, and the animating world. I worked for Disney and made a bunch of films for them as an artist, not the animator, not the one not making characters move. I built the world, designed the whole world. So I needed to understand landscape painting, landscape drawing, on-site observation drawing, which comes out of observation. I need to understand figure drawing heavily to understand even architecture, because I do a lot of perspective. So I had to really get deep into figure drawing, and it made me a concept illustrator and to work on making the look of all the worlds. So by me making all the worlds for all the Disney movies, I was able to move that into gaming and became, see, concept artist. Concept artist, it kind of translated over for me. And I started here in illustration, but you may want to be someone that works in the realm of art historian. And but under there, it takes place that you can fall into these categories pursuing that degree, understanding that every title has subcategories underneath that you can find a pathway that fits you well. Hence, if you want to go into being a designer, from understanding 2D design and 3D design so well, it says textile and fashion, but there's graphic artists and there's graphic designers that are here in the design world. So you can cross pollinate yourself. So you're not pursuing a world that's just screwing in a knob for a door, and that's all you know how to do is screw in a knob for a door. No, you're pursuing a career that actually leads you into pathways that gives you and puts you on different tracks. And if you have any questions about that, you can ask once I'm done here. And I always talked about the foundation courses. It gives you a chance to see in foundation what the courses are. And you talked about, someone asked a question about, can you take some of the studio art courses over the summer, and that would be here from that basic 2D drawing. Sometimes color theory is there. We also have the Art 101, the history courses, not the survey, but we'll have a universal art course, Art 101, that has been taught over the summer also, that all majors have to take. But as an art historian person, you want to emphasize these areas. These are foundation graphic design classes, which moves you into those areas of being a graphic designer, because there is a degree, AA degree for graphic design, and you can actually begin to build that out from here, from 2D design, intro to digital art, color theory, basic drawing, all of these things here, these concentrations that you see in illustration. There are actually, if you want the concentration illustration, you take these and move into illustration 1 and illustration 2. Graphic design, same concentrations, but then you're going to move yourself into similar concentrations, but you would need your color theory to pursue the degree of graphic design. Sculpture in 2D and 3D. This is an emphasis in our 3D path. We have a 2D, 3D, and an historical path that we have. These are our tracks, and these are the pathways that you take inside these tracks. Our program of concentration, as you see here, these are what you would consider the pathways inside those 3 major tracks. From sculpture, printmaking, life studies, where I hang out here, this is my world, jewelry and metalsmithing. I find this fascinating just as an artist, period. I think it's just to be able to make your own jewelry and not buy any at the store. It's like, wow, I'll make my own sunglasses if I could. But these are my reading glasses and sunglasses together. But I would make these, spend some time in that area. But also, as if you took any type of art form, understanding 3D space and making an object as an art form still can be commercial, or it can also be used for contemporary usage. So we have the gallery studies, our foundation studies, drawing and painting. These are those tracks under those three different big pathways I showed you. Ceramics, which is a wonderful thing. I showed you the areas that I said if you get a chance to watch the videos and see some of the ceramic areas in them, they have some studio areas that are visual to see kind of the space that's there. And if anybody is interested in doing ceramics, you will be coming on campus to pick up your clay and objects. If anybody's taking me for an illustration course, we'll be meeting at an art store to pick up our some of our material. But outside of that, I hope that it's kind of an open enlightenment for you to see the pathways and the tracks that exist, and in the areas of degrees that you'll be able to enter and go into as you start pursuing this career. I'll leave now room for questions. We have about a few minutes for questions anyone has for us. I'll go back and forth between the screen in case there's an area you wanted to see again, especially with our student work here, if you have any interest in anything. And hello again, everyone. So if there was any ideas that cross your mind, any other questions that cross your mind. I saw I just admitted one person in. Hello. I can open up a little bit more about the website at the end of the question and answer. I showed a visual of what our whole department consists of and the different tracks and the different pathways. Any questions so far? I would like to ask who is going into a major here. Does anyone have an idea what they are going to be involved in? You can speak.
I do.
Oh, Aaron?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I plan on getting a major in fine arts with concentration in animation. That's my goal. So that's why I'm choosing to go for the associates in studio arts for transfer right now.
Okay, now is that a transfer? When you say animation, I was in the animation world. Whenever I tell somebody, oh yeah, I was in animation, they run all the way off to the left and go, oh, you did all those characters, and I go, no. And then I kind of don't say anything after that, and then it leaves them to go, because they need to, I have to ask the question, and well, what do you mean by animation? Because animation is not the character. Animation is the story, like the entire embodiment of all these stories. So if it's animation, I was the artist of in the animation world, not the animator. And that's a different field. That's a different process of creating. Now I have animated. When I was at Disney, I had to do a bunch of little animations for things, but I didn't stick with that one. I'm the visual art creator. Like what's the story and what does it look like? So I get a chance to utilize all those foundation skills, which is the 2D design, your fundamentals in drawing 1, drawing 2, and drawing 3. We have to first understand shape, going into form, then moving ahead into lighting, and then color. And then I also had to understand painting, because I had to deal with how the colors and the images were going to translate from paper to film. So a lot of the foundation usages I kept using over and over again, especially the figure drawing, because I had to actually take characters and place them where they were in the positions for animators. But I wasn't animating anything. I just had to design where I needed them to go within the space. So a lot of the foundation things. So when you say animation, I preface that. Don't mean to be so wordy, but what area of animation?
I want to be the one who actually like manipulates and animates the movement of the characters. I would be okay with like working with someone else's designs and worlds and whatnot, but I want to be the one to like actually like create the movement of the character.
Okay, you want to be a character animator.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the reason I'm being specific is now you're on this journey. This for everyone. You're on this journey of an art career, and what makes the journey accessible to your goals is knowing what it is that you're going to throw your dart at. And I could throw my dart at a field of flowers, but if I know I want a rose in that field of flowers, I'm going to take my dart and I'm going to aim for the rose. And when I throw it, I'm going to make sure that I have all the skill necessary to throw that dart directly at the rose. But I'm concerned about my dart being in a field of flowers. So you're going into the field of flowers, but you need to know what flower you want to throw your dart at. And you said you want to manipulate the movement. Now, granted, I would recommend to you just don't be the one to manipulate the movement because that puts you only at this level in the animation world. Be the one to also want to design the characters that you're moving, and that will put you at this level in the animation world. If not, you'll always be a character cleanup artist or a character, just animator. I have a friend coming. For you, Aaron, so you'll know over this semester, I'll be putting on, bringing in guest artists. One's going to be coming from Nickelodeon for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's a character animator, right up your alley. This is exactly what you're talking about. So you get a chance to meet him if you just stay in contact with me throughout the semester. Um, Anyone else? Matthew, what are you interested in?
Oh, I'm mostly interested more in like the background art and maybe like storyboarding.
Okay, you're down my lane.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're down my.
Like the more like art, like visual, like yeah, colors and
The term is
all that.
the term is visual development. I'll leave you with this, as I left Aaron with character design and animation. I'll leave you look up the word visual development and look at all the art that's created, and let that be the dart you're shooting for.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
who else is in my little window here? Let's see. Anyone can speak. Is that Jacqueline? I know you just rolled in, but how are you? Are you able to?
Hi.
Hi. Are you able to give us a little bit about what area of art you like, or what your take here, or shooting for?
Yeah, I'm actually wanting to get a studio arts degree.
Mm-hmm. In the studio arts degree, which we'll cover. Now that's for a transfer, because I did go over a little bit about the AA degree and the transfer degree. So are you interested in transferring to a bigger school, or hanging out here with us all the way to the AA and then conquering the world after?
And I plan to get it for a transfer.
Transfer. Okay, good, good. Um, which will be which I broke down the three areas of emphasis we have, which is historian, as an art historian, as a 3D emphasis, which is sculpture, clay, 3D modeling, and then the other is in the 2D, which is pertaining to the track and illustration, studio art, that's contemporary fine art works, and any of the digital 2D arts you'll be able to have here. Uh, and I recommend that anyone pursuing in that realm of animation or entertainment art, make sure you focus on the illustration track, because that's going 100% entertainment arts, along with the emphasis in editorial and advocacy within illustration. There's a lot of to be in that position as a visual development artist, you would have to be in illustration. As an animator, you want to make sure you take animation classes. That's also part of our department. So just make sure that focus, you understand that flower you're shooting at. And I see Joanne there. I think you're there to help me, right? Or are you? Yes, yes, yes. I know. Yes. One question I can ask: how's our time going?
Oh, good. You have like 8 minutes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on track and on time. Thank you. Um, and I don't know if we've met. Have we met? Yes, we've been in my class or no?
No, I don't take art.
Oh, you don't take art. Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that if you had something to offer to the table, it could be thrown out there. Um, but being that you're part of the Cypress College world, you're aware that you still all have to take your uh, focused liberals, which is your English, math, and all the other things that require you to be an intellectual, along with the side of you being an artist. So, unless those are some things you've already credited out of and you're here just strictly for all your studio. Um, and if not, since I have 8 minutes, I'll give a quick, brief overview again of our um, website. So, in case those who came earlier, later, where to start, and all these things are under these categories, which is about the art gallery and the catalog. If you go into any of those, Canvas, Cypress College Home, and My Gateway are part of the main website because that's how you'll operate here at the school through Canvas, your My Gateway, and the Cypress College Home. We'll have also a new computer system set up for you to check out for those in the arts pertaining to my illustration courses. If any of you are taking any of those, we have computers you can check out at the gallery. Uh, their Chromebooks that will be able to be checked out for our department. Also, if you're taking me for figure drawing, we will be using a laptop in there. You say, how? What's that one for? In case you don't have it, in order to get the models and the subject matters that we'll be using. So this talks about our school, about what we're about, giving you the understanding of your creative nature and your ability in the context of your ability. We do have a social media, again, reviewing over social media for you to come in and see the different functions and the different things that we're doing within the art department. That's pretty much where you're going to get advertisements about clubs and organizations and things like that. One I'm starting, which is called the Equity Alliance of Illustrative Fantasy Art. It's on Fridays. I'm going to start that up where you can come in and learn all those things about the fantasy arts, from background design, character stuff, animation, all of that in these are workshops. They're not classes, they're workshops. So there's a lot of more open room to think and create. This here is an area of those degrees. If you're aware of what you want, associates, arts, transfer, and the art history transfer degree. Our gallery, which is again student work that you all can see, from figure drawing to digital to illustration. And you have our annual exhibition that you can check out, which is really fun to watch because you'll be part of this. As soon as you take one class with us, one of those pieces will be in there because it's part of the foundation works. So do a beautiful job and focus on your talent and focus on the principles and the concepts around them and how to make your knowledge stronger as far as what you may need to do. So where you start is a great area, again, to connect from mentors to applying for scholarships, all the way to getting a session one-on-one with the counselors that they'll be starting to have now. And things are a little different because everything's online. So now that we're a bit of an online school, the process of how you connect to us is going to be a lot less interconnection, like physically, but you'll still have opportunities through email, through chats, and we have breakout rooms within our Zoom so that you can go through. Make sure you go through, again, the areas of careers, because it's really fun to see where you can go with just understanding how to draw. It's just one really important, or doing something in 3D. And these are our tracks and the pathways of how you get there, the concentrations underneath, 2D emphasis, 3D, and art history. So, like I said, illustration concentration carries the weight the same as if you're dealing in any 3D emphasis. What is the concentrations needed to go into this area of 3D? so you can get a chance to see what you need to be taking. And lastly, the program concentrations themselves. I want to go into art history on the ceramics, contemporary art studio, drawing and painting emphases. These are the foundation courses. Everyone should be taking these regardless because it's important to understand the fundamental and how it never goes away. So the stronger you are at it, the faster you can get into the accuracy of the profession that you want to go into. So these are the areas of closure upon those concentrations. So in the life studies, if you want to focus on that, from portrait to life painting to advanced, all of these figure drawing concepts. Let's get out of that. So I thank you all for hanging out with me. We have a few minutes left, but if you can ask me anything on the cuff, not too off the cuff, but we want to make sure that everything that you are involved in is according to where you want to be, and that you didn't get here and go, oh, I'm supposed to be in math. Oh, my mistake. Yeah. The idea is that you're supposed to be in the arts, pursuing the arts, and the arts that are built for the direction you want to go in, which is for transferring, be that as transferring to the area of 3D emphasis or 2D emphasis. The work is able to be clearly seen on the site. It's a very a good way for you to know, oh, I can take ceramics concentration, but am I also able to take X? You may have a question about that. Some of the things you can see already correlate with each other. So is there any questions, anyone? All right.
I had a question.
Oh, okay.
So on the website, there's like under like impact, there's like something about an art mentorship program. Is there anything you could like tell us about that?
Say that again.
On the website under impact, there's like something about an art mentorship program. Is there anything you could tell us about that?
Yeah, there's usually a, if it's the same one I'm thinking about, I'll flip over there. There is an internship program that through the gallery that takes place, and that one, when you look through the gallery, there's usually a every year there's students and artists can get together. Now, if that's the same one that's on the site, that will be related through the gallery. And Janet, she's accessible through email. You can contact that area. When you look in contacting the gallery, you go to the gallery and contact gallery, then you could be able to make it connect to that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Now, I'll, if you want to leave me your email, I'll see if there's anything else broader, but that should be the area that would deal with the mentoring, because there's a lot of peer-to-peer emphasis in the area through the gallery.
Okay.
With tangible art, tangible work, stuff like that.
Yeah. Should I leave my email in the chat or?
Actually, yeah, I think the chat's off, so I'll leave you my email.
Okay.
And you can email me at DH. That's D. I'm sorry, D Howard. D HOWARD at cypresscollege.edu.
Okay.
That's D Howard. You just email me that and I can respond back. That's for anyone who is interested in any other information about anything. It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's 6:30. I'm not sure. I think we end now, I believe. Is that right, Joanne?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all for showing up. And again, email me if you have any other questions that I just left at dhoward@cypresscollege.edu. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on campus floating around. Bye.